Hey, what's going on, guys? So for few weeks now, Harbinger farm in Valdo's Rest has been one of the best ways to make currency in a game, but since then it has been nerfed multiple times. So at first, Diplomatic Escort has been giving one Harbinger the reinforcements, so basically you were encountering a lot of Harbingers, and then it was nerfed into a current state. So instead of having reinforcements, every single Harbinger has a chance to be a powerful Harbinger boss, so a King Harbinger. So that basically means it summons more monsters, so more loot. And last week it also has been pretty powerful. If you were stacking a lot of Harbingers, you had a decent chance that they will be King Harbingers, and you still had a lot of currency dropped from them. But this week it also has been nerfed again, so now the King Harbinger is summoning less monsters, so obviously less loot. So I haven't seen that many people trying out this strategy this week because of the nerfs, and I was wondering how good is it after the nerfs, so I decided to try it out myself. So what I did is I did 50 maps in Valdo's Rest just with Harbinger Scarab, just to see how good the Harbinger farm is. So first of all, I was using still auspicious Watchstone, so that Harbingers drop better currency shards, and free Laden for additional chance for stack of currency shards. So this costs between 3 to 4 exalts, and these 3 cost around half exalts for every single one of them. So the price of them is between 5 to 6 exalts, so it's not that much for full set of Watchstones compared to some other regions. But also you have to remember that after you're done with the strategy, you can sell them to basically get your money back. So what I did is I did run 50 Underground Sea map, because to be honest, in Valdo's Rest this league there isn't that many good maps, and Underground Sea is actually pretty decent, so I decided to run it. And I was only just alcheming it and just running it with one Rusted Harbinger Scarab, because it's the most cost efficient one. You are paying only 1 C per Harbinger, since this one costs only 2 C, and Polished I think costs around 10 C, and Gilded is like 15-20, so you are paying way more for every single Harbinger. So this one is most cost efficient if you are not caring that much about cost of the maps, which is for Underground Sea you are paying 4 to 5 C. Also, I wasn't using chisels on them, so I wasn't quality them, and looking at it now, I think that was a mistake, and I probably should have been using the chisels on them, but what can you do? So now let me show you how I did it. So again, just yellow map with one Scarab, no sextons, nothing like that, and I would just run a map. And I didn't really care about full clearing, I was just looking for Harbingers, and if I encountered one of the league mechanics like Harvest, I would do it. But to make it a bit faster, I'm not gonna do it right now. I would go for the boss, kill it, just because I also wanted some extra loot from the boss, and I was also farming Awakeners at the same time. And I also was doing the Expedition, because Expedition, to be honest, is pretty good after the buffs, so it's worth to do them. So this one is a King Harbinger, so as you can see there's a lot of monsters, and you get a decent Harbinger shards from them. So again, I would do the Expedition, I didn't care too much about doing it like 100% efficient, only if I saw a good vendor like Tuyen or Dunning, then I would care a little bit more. For the other two, I was just placing them a little bit more randomly. Okay, so I'm done with expedition. And I killed one Harbinger, so there will be 2 more. So that's first one, and there is one somewhere else. So this one didn't drop that much currency, and there is one more somewhere.
I'm not up to that yet.
So here it is. And the reason there is 3, because there is 2 from Scarab, and there is also 1 from the Omnius Arrival. Okay, so all of the Harbingers are dead. Now I will just leave them up and that's it. So it's pretty simple strategy. You don't need to do that much stuff. You don't need that many Scarabs. You don't even need to full clear. So that's it. And also the second thing I was wondering, is it worth running this zone only with Harbinger Scarab? Or is it also worth to use the Blight Scarab? Since in the past I was farming Blight in Lyra Artane, and a lot of people have been asking me how good is it in Valdo's Res, so I also wanted to try it. So in the end I did 50 maps with just Harbinger Scarabs, and also 25 maps with also Blight Scarabs. But you also need to remember, even if you are not using Scarabs, you have a pretty decent chance to that the map will contain Blight because of the Outbreak. And also thanks to the other passives, there will be a lot of rewards from the Blight in this zone. But you will not have that high chance to get blighted maps. So in Lyra Artane you have increased chance to get blighted maps, and in Valdo's Res you just have overall better rewards, but not that high chance to get blighted maps. And Blight do not contain that many good rewards other than blighted maps, so I did not expect this to be that great, but I still wanted to try it out. So here are the results. So this is the tab after 50 maps. So here I just have some random maps from bosses and so on, some contracts, blueprints, and just from the random Blight encounters that I found, I dropped 4 blighted maps. Here you can see all of the artifacts, and here just random currencies and so on. Some of them came from Harbingers, but some of them didn't. Some of them also came from Expedition, and also as you can see I pretty easily sustained 50 maps. Obviously not all of them are Underground Sea, but you can also sell them and buy Underground Sea or Horizon Orb into them. And here are all of the currency that drop from Harbinger, so Exalts, Annulment Orbs, Ancient, Harbinger, Binding and Horizon, and these 2 Exalted Orbs just dropped randomly from some monsters, so they didn't come from Harbinger. And here is the test with Blighted Scarabs, so as you can see, much more Blighted maps, a little bit less currency and other stuff, obviously because I only did 25 maps instead of 50, but I took that into the account when we will go into the spreadsheet. So also as you can see here I got 2 exalts, where here I only got like 1.5, so obviously there is gonna be some level of RNG when you are doing this type of strategy. So to get a correct result I would probably have to do much more maps. Okay, so now let's look at the spreadsheet. So the cost of 50 maps is 5C, so 250C in total, and Harbinger Scarabs I was buying them for 2C, so 100C, so in total 350 chaos, and the whole test 50 maps took me 5 hours. And here 25 maps with Harbinger and Blighted Scarabs, and I was buying polished Blighted Scarabs for additional 1 boss, because normal one is, I think, 4 or 5C, so it's not that much more expensive, and it's worth to get 1 additional boss for more rewards, in my opinion. So this test took me 3 hours, and I did spend 325C. And obviously, if you would double this amount of maps, you would also double the amount of time. So it would take me 6 hours to do 50 maps with Blighted Scarabs, since obviously Blight takes quite a long time to do them. And also this would be also doubled. So now let's look at the profit. So just from the random currencies from 50 maps, I got 2000C, and total was 3600. So more than the half of the profit came just from the a random currency and maps, so and so on from this tab. Then the artifacts, in total 700C, and in 25 maps 300C. And here profit, so total amount of money I made minus the investment, it was 3200 chaos, and in exalts that's almost 4 exalts per hour. And when you look at the 25 maps with Blight, you're looking at pretty much the same result, a little bit worse, but to be honest, there is some level of RNG involved, obviously. So I would say both of these strategies, so either with Blight Scarabs or not, are pretty much the same. It's just up to you if you want to do Blight or not, if you like it or not. And also I counted here how much currency actually came just from Harbingers. So all of these currency. And as you can see here, not that much actually came from it, so you can clearly see that it has been nerfed by a lot, but it's still a decent profit. And also here you can see how much I made from the Blighted maps in 50 maps test and in 25 maps test. So just to sum things up, I think it's a pretty good strategy. 4x per hour is not that bad, considering it's pretty chill strategy. You don't need to buy that much stuff. It's pretty low investment. You only need to buy Watchstones, which again you can sell after you're done with this strategy. And other than that, you are buying just maps and scarabs, which is not that much. And if I myself would want to farm Blight, I probably would stick to Lyra Arcane. But if you want to do both Harbinger and Blight, it's still pretty decent here. And also, I would consider actually doing Metamorph, maybe actually instead of Harbingers, because it's also a pretty good league mechanic. So it's not completely dead, I would say, but you can definitely feel the nerfs. That's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.